You might have a little meat that's been laying in the ice box for a few days. Chop the meat up fine, season it highly, stuff it into the center of the potato and bake them with the skins on. When they're done, cut them in two. Serve them on the half shell just like that.
42, that's
Serve them in
number.
slices when company calls. The more company you have, the thinner you cut the slices.
So we still
if your mother-in-law calls, give her a beef piece like that.
Well,
now the second tool in the set is known as the garnishing knife. Everything you cut with this must come out fancy.
Jesus.
Watch this, please.
Let's go find something on
you
somebody
cut down, you turn the potato, and then you cut through the edge. First one way, and then the other. Sweet potatoes cut like this. Drop them into a little batter of pancake flour and fry them. When they're golden brown, sprinkle molasses on them. Serve them with strips of bacon for breakfast while they're delicious. Here's beets, you pickle them, and carrots you steam or cream them.
I know the answer.
In making the original French fried potato, cut them in thick slices. Put them one on top of each other.
Okay,
Cross-cut the slices, and you'll never eat a French fry any other way. The potatoes cut like this will not absorb the fat because they're garnished around. Pineapples cut for your pineapple and cheese salad, cut them the same way. Here is one, and this is a dandy. Cuts any thickness or any size. Open it for a thick slice, close to the top for a thin slice. Saratoga chips, you can make them for 3 or 4 pennies a pound. Just pull the blade towards you like this. If you want the slices thicker than this, open the blade, there's a thick slice. Shoestrings for your Friday fish dinner, cut them down like this. Chop them up for your vegetable soup. What this knife is really intended for is for cutting the cabbage. You know the old-fashioned board, how you rip and tear, sometimes nipping the ends off your fingers. Lay it flat and pull it lightly towards you over the cabbage. The weight of the knife across the cabbage is all that's necessary. Why, ladies, when you get small cut as fine as this, you'll certainly appreciate eating it. The crowning feature of the set is the cutter that I'm going to show you now.
There's nothing good over here.
This is known as the canteen vegetable mincing knife and noodle cutter. Now, when you want to make some real fine noodles at home, you roll the dough out like this. Dip this into a little flour so it doesn't stick to the dough, and as you roll it over the dough, that will cut the noodles in long strips 10 at a time. Did you ever try to chop up a little nuts for cake?
Everybody's gonna be brown by the time it's all said and done.
Chop nuts and the nuts land up on the ceiling. Sometimes you chop the ends off your fingers. When you want to chop up a little nuts for cake, cooked meat, clams for chowder, soup greens to throw into your soup, making a little pepper or chicken hash is just a few strokes rolling it up and down. Why, here is without a doubt the meanest thing in the world to cut parsley.
What about the women
Put that in a grinder, you really grind it too fine. This machine, instead of crushing the parsley, cuts it quick, clean, and dry, leaving every bit of the juice and every bit of the flavor. Now, to clean this machine, you press the button. Rinse it out in a little water. When you're through using it, hang it up and let it dry. Here's one here that every lady should have in her home, known as the Parisian scoop. You lay it flat. Once to the right, once to the left. When you scoop them out, you'll get a perfect round little ball. You can pot roast these. Cut them out of cheese or cut them out of butter. When you're serving a fruit cocktail in the summertime, take your fresh cantaloupe, scoop them out like this, mix them with apples, pears, and watermelons, makes a delicious fruit cocktail served with a little cracked ice like you see here. But here is a tool, ladies, if you ever do get it, you'll thank the day you've seen this demonstration. When you press, it locks. It's like a pair of human hands. Reach in the oven and take the biscuits out of the oven. Ever take the hot potatoes out of the oven and burn yourself on the elbow? A roast chicken out of the oven, a piece of meat out of the pot, spinach, asparagus out of the water. Why, around canning season when you're preserving the fruits, to take the hot fruit jars out of the water like that, that machine is worth dollars to you. And here's another one that I really know you'll enjoy having in your kitchen, known as the safety grater. No doubt you're familiar with the old-fashioned grater. I've seen ladies take a grater and rip the knuckles off. When you want to grate up potatoes for delicious potato pancakes, this has a smooth, flat edge, impossible to cut yourself. Just like you were washing clothes, you rub it up and down, and you really grate your vegetables real fine, retaining all the flavors and all the juices. Breadcrumbs for when you're serving veal cutlets or anything like that. You want a little breadcrumbs to fry your fish in? Why, there's the greatest proposition in the world. Use that for coconut, cheese, or horseradish. When you're through with it, just hit it down like that. That knocks all the food out. Rinse it out in a little water and hang it up and let it dry. Now, here is a stone made of carborundum and sapphire quartz, which is made purposely to keep these knives sharp. When they get dull, a few strokes over the edge like this, and you can put a keen cutting edge on it. If you have a dull knife or a dull pair of scissors, an old sickle or a scythe, a lawnmower, cleaver, an axe, there's a tool that will really put an edge on the knife, so the knife will really cut for you. I just want to give you an idea of how sharp that knife really is when you sharpen it with that stone. Ladies, I've seen some of you try to open up cans. Now, there's a can of Campbell's baked beans. I've seen ladies open up a can and you poke a hole in it, go around the top, hippity-hop, and your finger slips. Let me show you a real proposition. Look, lay it on the can, lift up the safety, and turn the key. That locks itself on the can. No harder than you were winding up your watch. Wind up the key and that'll cut the top off of the can slick and smooth. Notice how the end raises itself up in the air so you can lift the lid off, giving you a clean, smooth edge. Now that can be used for sardine cans, square cans, or round cans, exactly the same way. Now, this tool here, my dear friends, needs no introduction. This will save you on an average of $20 to $30 every year you use it as a peeling knife. Here's a grater for cheese, coconut, or horseradish, a fish scaler for scaling your fish, and when you're coring your apple, it's just a slight twist of the wrist, and there's the apple core. There's one more tool that I want you to see, and I want you to watch this one very closely. Many a times when you're baking a pie, you have a pudding in the oven. I've seen ladies wrap a towel around your hand, and many a times you burn your fingers. Hook this onto the pot like this and lift the hot pots off the top of the stove. You've got a pie pan in the oven, catch a hold of the pie pan like this. Why, you couldn't get it off with a team of horses. This will positively lift 100 pounds. There's a pail of water weighs 50 or 60 pounds. That's the way you pick it up. But there's one more tool. I'll be all through and I'll be finished. Oh, now the next tool and the last one is what they call the Sarah Bernhardt cutter. This was invented by the head chef of the Imperial Hotel in the city of Berlin, Germany. You place the screw into the center of the vegetable. Twist the vegetable until the threads catch a hold, then you wind this up. You keep winding until you utilize the whole potato. The faster you turn, the quicker the slices. Why, ladies, here's a machine for slicing onions. The first onion that you slice with this cutter, you'll bless the day you've got a hold of it. Every slice cut exactly the same thickness, every slice cut the same size. In making what they call a rosette, pull the vegetable out like this. Pin the ends together with a toothpick, drop that potato into the hot fat and fry it. That will come out like a donut, golden brown. If you're serving a nice fish dinner, a little parsley goes in the center with the fish all around it, makes a very appetizing dish. Did you ever try to slice onions with a knife? You know how you get one thick slice and one thin slice? Run the knife through the center. That will separate each slice individual. Almost like magic, there is every slice cut exactly the same thickness and the same size. Wouldn't you like to have a set like this in your kitchen? Why, of course you would. Now don't forget, attend this theater every week and receive this 12-piece fascinating... Ladies and gentlemen, the management of this theater takes great pleasure in making this announcement. To each lady attending this theater each week, will receive absolutely free a fascinating 12-piece kitchen cutlery set, one piece each time. It is really interesting and amazing to know how you can prepare your meals in an appetizing and pleasing manner. There's an old saying, and a true one, that what is pleasing to the eye is bound to be pleasing to the appetite. I'm going to demonstrate this set to you, and I want you to watch it very closely. The first cutter that I'm going to show you, now this first one is known as the Parisian cutter. Wind it through the potato like a corkscrew. When the cutter appears on the opposite side, pull the cutter out. Place the handle in the center and twist it out. This is what they call a French curl. When you fry these, they come out like donuts, nice and brown. Serve them with your steaks or pot roast them. Unwind it, there's two curls out of the one potato. Tomorrow morning for breakfast, wind a little strip of bacon around the potato and serve them with bacon and eggs. They're delicious. Different colored vegetables, wind them together and you get the two colors. Here's a little trick cut. Split the curl halfway through the center. If you're making a shrimp salad and you happen to run short of shrimp, mix these in with the regular shrimp. Upon my word, you couldn't tell the difference until you start to eat 'em. Now the rest of the potato, you stuff it. We'll call this a little chicken. We'll call this here some hamburger. You might have a little meat that's been laying in the ice box for a few days. Chop the meat up fine, season it highly, stuff it into the center of the potato and bake them with the skins on. When they're done, cut them in two. Serve them on the half shell just like that. Serve them in slices when company calls. The more company you have, the thinner you cut the slices. If your mother-in-law calls, give her a beak piece like that. Now the second tool in the set is known as the garnishing knife. Everything you cut with this must come out fancy. Watch this, please. You cut down, you turn the potato, and then you cut through the edge. First one way, and then the other. Sweet potatoes cut like this, drop them into a little batter.
Evening, everyone. How we doing tonight? We got string cheese tonight. So this should be fun. Going sort of well, certainly got holiday season here. I'm still working on Thanksgiving food. We're gonna have some fun. Gonna do string cheese stuffed hot dogs. Gonna wrap them in prosciutto. Gonna do salad with some string cheese and wrap that with prosciutto as well. Also getting rid of those salad greens that I need to use up. Gonna do puff paste or pizza rolls. Gonna have to make my own sauce for that. Gonna do sort of like a thick sauce. Gonna use it almost like a mayo or a sauce in a sandwich, and use that to sort of protect the layers where we're putting stuff. And unless like an actual sauce. We don't really want a ton of sauce in something that's like bready. Gonna do, and then lastly, dessert's gonna be baked spring rolls with caramelized apples and spring cheese, or string cheese. Keep wanting to call it spring. Anyways, string cheese. Not looking to really broadcast the brand here. Because it's really just mozzarella. Welcome in, Ozma. How are you doing tonight? Especially since I have a feeling that the brand on the bag doesn't match where it's actually at from. String cheese. String cheese, not spring cheese. I am quite well tonight. Show you guys what we're working with here tonight. Alright. This is not a Jason Eats string cheese stream. We're going to start with... I think we're going to actually start with making our sauce for our pizza. So I'm going to do a little onion up here. Okay, that wasn't supposed to do that twice. That's interesting. Silly bots. By the way, there's not much you can do with your sprinkles yet, but they will be used here in the near future, or useful. So keep an eye out for that. I don't know why I'm doing this the hard way here. Anyone following the Formula One news? All sorts of new news this week. Actually, just in the 2 days here. We got Hamilton with COVID, so he can't race. And they've replaced him with Russell from Williams. And they've got the Williams reserve player, or driver working for them this weekend. And all sorts of stuff. What's his name's son has now been named for sure as being racing for Haas next year. Schumacher's kiddo. We had a 2-week break there, and then had another race here last weekend. Had to sit there and think about what I'm cutting this for. But I'm excited to see Russell, who has done amazing this year, be given a Mercedes seat. Have him race against Bottas and Verstappen. He had the impressive crash there that last race too, which while he won't be racing, is thankfully he only had some burns on his hands. Welcome back, Trigger. How we doing tonight? There's too much onion. I'm going to end up packaging some of this up, but doing pretty well. Gonna have a fun dinner tonight. Doing hot dogs and pizza rolls and spring rolls. That's a little bit more like it, I think. Like I said, we're doing more of like a smear sauce here instead of a thin tomato sauce. I must have went through all of it. Oh yeah, that's right. The center of it wasn't that good. The garlic that I had bought last. Still got cheesecake, still got gravy. I've done that before. It can be a bit harsh, especially when you're using... I like using red onion with guacamole, and even with salsa. I don't go for the white, milder onions. But, yeah, it can be rough if you use too much. Get this pan going here. Do you have a bum avocado? I had a bum avocado here one of these last times I used them. Turned out to be mostly bruised and hurt on the inside, even though it didn't really have any... I mean, it looked perfectly fine. Felt like a ripe avocado, which it was. But either some sort of insects or something had made a bunch of small pricks in the skin, and it had been ruined all over the place. Alright, getting pretty good there. Being string cheese, this doesn't string very well. Sugar. Yeah, I've had avocados like that. That's usually more of a misidentified avocado. It'll be some entirely different specialty variety or something. Pretty good, Glass. Welcome in. How's your evening going? Fun dinner menu tonight. wrapping all sorts of cheese in prosciutto. Does that count for you? Definitely MSG. Black pepper too. I haven't hit that with that yet. Bottle. Turn the heat off there. Let's do our battle. Yeah, Trigger. I've done a couple of online orders. I actually got gypped on my turkey and had to go last minute turkey shopping this year. And yeah, a lot of it's sort of misleading because they'll give like quarter pound of like serranos, which is quite a bit more than you need. Let's see how we do here. Doesn't look like we had a whole lot pop up. Looks like all of us just against 4 cubes here. I guess the thing with the cubes is you're not supposed to let your ranged kill the cubes. Because if the ranged kill the cubes, it releases the dino from it. Not 100% in that one, but I think that's what that is. Grats, Trigger. Ooh, goodies. Gold. As if I don't have enough gold already. In this account. My user account, I've got like nothing. I'm scraping the barrel. And this one I'm just swimming in money and I'm handing out as much as I can to you guys. Oh, okay, Trigger. That may be what it is. We'll start with the tank up here. Top corner. Alright, everyone, join in. I'm going to go back to cooking here. We got our tomato paste and onion. Nice and warm. And yummy. Seasoned up a bit. Let's see, do we have any stock available? Already defrosted. I do not see any. I do have some rosé wine though. That'll work nicely. That was hotter than I thought. Morocco! Thank you for that sub. Welcome back in. Okay, so we got that going. Next we're going to do our apples. Pull that off to the side here. And apples are in the fridge. Evening, Suki. How we doing? I am doing quite lovely tonight. We're having a fun night of using string cheese for dinner and, not at least sort of dessert. We're going to do caramelized apple and string cheese spring rolls. Going to bake them for dessert tonight. Give these both a quick wash. And I think I'm going to leave skin on. Apple smells great. That fresh, almost like just after a fresh rain smell. Almost along that line. Sort of think that most of apples is in their smell. They're basically just sugar. That's why they're in like every fruit juice there is. They're easy to hide. Pretty neutral and sweet. Hey, Head Mama Bear. Not you, assistant. Yeah, there was a couple of good ones that he had there. Since I have it and want to use it up, I'm going to use ghee here with the apples. But you could easily use one of the others. Types of butters, regular butter. One of those good ones. Yes, said Mama Bear. I'm doing all sorts of cookies on Friday. At the very least, it's going to be a long stream, and depending on how prepared I am ahead of time, I may start early too. But if you look way back this time last year, on my Instagram, I had a pretty epic cookie baking day last year. white chocolate raspberry cookies. Oh, it's probably pretty similar, depending. It may be more of a sugar cookie, but that'd be very similar to the um, white chocolate and raspberry shortbread that I did earlier this year. You could just cut that into like cookies instead of like a pie that like I did. Well, we'll see if I need to. Right now, I'm going to say probably not, but that's because I've already made a good portion of that chopping already. And yes, I did use fresh raspberries for that. And I don't have white chocolate or raspberries in my current inventory. But I will certainly put that on the list if I have to go back to stores or have to increase my current order. And a little light sprinkle of sugar here. We're going to need hot dogs. We're going to need all this. I might as well just get it all out. Let's see, I think I've got, what is this, garam masala. I have cloves here somewhere. Oh, we'll throw one of these in there. Star anise. I was in here looking for a clove though. This is over here. Yeah, Twitch has been a bit funky here the last week and a half here. Let's see, I'm not really getting, I don't have any drop frames or anything. Take an apple here and stab it with the clove. Nice head, Mama Bear. Thank you. What else are we throwing in there? Let's do a sprinkle of cinnamon and a sprinkle of cayenne. Cayenne. And that's mustard. Where's my Simmons in a tub now? Okay, what else do we need to do ahead of time for that? Let's pull out the puff pastry. I'm doing a little cheating tonight, along with it being an ingredient challenge night. We got purchased puff pastry, and we have hot dogs, pepperoni, hot dog buns. Always want to work with puff pastry as cold as you possibly can. And I'm actually just going to split this and not worry about breaking it. The major thing is I want to make sure that break is down here. So I'm actually going to pull on it from both sides here. There we go. It's a nice clean cut where it was bent. Take these and cut these into triangles. Broke on me. Maybe patch that one back together. Won't be nearly as good though. Now we need to wait and let these get to the point that they're flexible, which shouldn't take too long. And let's see if I've got enough string cheese for all these projects. Metro! Metro, thank you for that raid. Welcome in, everyone. How we doing tonight? Working with string cheese as an ingredient tonight. I don't know if I'm going to do all these actually, so I probably won't even have to worry about that one not having enough here. Well, we're doing this for dinner tonight. You got, obviously, string cheese is our ingredient. Working on the pizza rolls here on the cutting board. We got the apples on the stove for dessert, which are going to be spring rolls. I think I'm going to stop it. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do 5 on these. The rest we'll do up with everything but the string cheese. Because we need some more for stuffing our hot dogs, because I'm going to sear the hot dogs off, which you guys can skip, but I like having a nice seared exterior to my hot dogs. I'm going to sear them in a pan. I'm going to slice them in half. I'm going to put a cheese stick in between them, and then I'm going to wrap them with prosciutto and heat them up in the oven to finish. Let's see here. Suspendable, not, well, we're getting close there, but not quite there. On the back here, we've got onions, tomato paste, a little wine, and some seasoning. Here we've got apples that are getting too hot that I am cooking essentially down into mush so that I can put them along with string cheese in our spring roll. That's a good question there, Metro. I didn't think to tell him. So we're starting with just wrapping the cheese in the center of this. Got our tomato that I'm going to pull over here. We got our pepperoni. Love me some pepperoni. It's been a while since I bought pepperoni. I'm going to cut the heat on the apples now. Starting our oven up. Getting the pan out here for putting these on. Mama Bear, thank you for that sub. Appreciate that. So we'll take these guys and put them roll side up. Do you want to try and get, if you noticed I kept the tip bare so that it would somewhat attach. Yeah, it was maybe a bit much. I know some people are concerned about using tomatoes in their cast iron pans. You notice that I'm obviously not too concerned about that. You do want to be worried about that if you have a pan with a very light coating on it. And it's certainly not great to be left in for long periods of time. But just while I'm quick working here with it, less than an hour, I'm not leaving it in the pan like overnight or something like that. Be just fine. That one split on me. Ooh, that one split on me too. I don't think these were pre-scored. They're sort of acting like they were. I've bought these before and they weren't pre-scored, I don't think. Okay, the rest of these will do. Yeah, it must have been pre-scored the way that's cut. That's cut. And the way that broke, even though it's not scored. The rest of these we're going to do just tomato and pepperoni. Tomato, onion, and pepperoni. So as I mentioned before, the tomato paste here / sauce is also acting somewhat like a fat barrier or a mayo, and it should, hopefully, help these layers continue to puff up even a little bit more than they would if they were in contact with each other. Bottle. Welcome in, Jamie. Thank you for that follow. Do our Stream Raiders battle. Victory. Grats, Fanged Mermaid. Goodies. Hard or easy? I think we're going to go hard. Alright. Watch out if there's... I don't know if this was one where there's... Doesn't say there's going to be more popping up, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's some that pop up on the side here as our flanks, or like this goblin is here. But otherwise... and tonight is a ingredient challenge night. So I'm going to switch back off of Discord because I don't have that open yet. I don't know what it's going to open to. But we have a new vote to put up for next week. As I wait for Discord to open. Where are you, Discord? Why you no open? Okay, fine. Be difficult. I'll go on the website. It's not gonna be. It's gonna be horrible for OBS. It's not running. Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh, we got a new photo here of our avocado from Trigger here. Oh, awesome. Popped up too. So, obviously, string cheese has won for tonight. We need a new vote for next week. What do we have for ingredient suggestions? I think I saw 2 of them already with 2 marks on here. Let's see here. Please feel free to add your own suggestions and throw them in there. Looks like pizza rolls and Fruit Loops, unless we got a 3. Yep, pizza rolls for the 9th. I already forgot pizza rolls. Oops, that was wrong. We need a separate line for that one. Fruit Loops. And add your reaction to whichever you think is the more difficult for me to have to cook with next week. I sort of think both of those are pretty difficult. Fruit Loops is going to be horrible for the savory part, and the pizza rolls are going to be horrible for dessert here. Yes, Mama Bear, that's the vote. That's I'm gonna have to figure something out for that. But the same thing, Fruit Loops, and what? I can maybe do like a salad with that, but I don't really want to use it as a coating for something to fry. I don't know. Anyways, we have the avocado that Trigger was complaining about here earlier, which, yeah, you did get gypped by a big seed there. That's sort of sad. And as always, we have the walk-in, we have the Formula One chat with the news about Schumacher's son, the Williams backup racer coming in, and Mercedes stealing one of Williams' drivers, because Hamilton is sick. And I didn't hear who is going to be replacing Grosjean. But we'll see. Anyways, please vote in the dinner voting. And that'll be up until Monday. At some point, I'll take that down and announce what it is. And back to the board. All right, Mom Bear. No, we're going to try with this one. This one's going to be a little ugly with all of its cuts in it. A couple of these are going to be a little ugly, but this is another reason why you want to work with it colder than I have it even now, is it starts stretching on you. You got it cold, it's going to stay a little bit more solid in one piece, be a little bit easier to get a nice clean roll out of it. So we're going to clean our cast iron out. Put that on a flame over here to dry out. And we're going to put these actually in the freezer, if I can fit it in here. And allow them to set up a little bit here before we jump into doing the rest, because I actually want to try and fit the hot dogs on there with them once I'm done searing and stuffing them. And we're a little bit ahead here for throwing them in the oven for the everything else. Wondering if anyone's caught the new channel point redemption, which, as I mentioned earlier in the stream, I'm going to take this back out after it's been cooking in with those. It's already soft and lost or lent the flavor that we wanted into it. And we're looking for that clove that I stuffed into the side of one of these guys. Not the end of the world. You just don't really want to bite straight into a clove. Bit of a strong flavor. That's why I originally put it in a piece of apple, so it'd be easier to identify, but I think that one's lost for the moment. Pulled that over here to the side of the cutting board. We'll get rid of our pepperoni. We can use this for that. Not out of plastic bags. Gonna add 4 of these dogs to the pan here to give them a light sear. Like I said, I'm gonna wrap these up and put them back in the oven to finish, so just looking for color here. So you can skip this if you're a fan of the pale dog. Let's do 2 of these for the salad. I haven't had this brand of prosciutto, I don't think. Very few prosciuttos I try actually stack up to the real stuff. They usually lack in the actual depth of flavor. Usually perfectly good ham, don't get me wrong. They're just not what I would call prosciutto. And already just looking at this, I don't think so. It's too moist. It's too wet. It just tears too easy. I mean, you get good... It's dried prosciutto, so I mean, it doesn't like to be thin cut, but at the same time, it holds up a heck of a lot better than this. I'm going to wrap this on an angle here so that it covers a bit more of our cheese. Actually, I think I'm going to go too deep with that. Yep, I might be using both of these packages. I thought I was going to skate by with just using one, but glad I got 2. You hot dogs are getting quiet there behind me. Makes me a little worried. Hey, Nith. Welcome in. There we go. That one worked with just one. And save. Well, let's do a double on both of them. So we'll toss these guys in my salad a bit later. Get rid of this puff pastry that I thought was cheese and I was going to eat. But getting some... Oops, I didn't mean to turn off the music. Little nice bubbling, little slight char action almost going. Turn the heat down a little bit. Yeah, fatty belly on fish is some nice stuff. Especially if you treat it nicely and you don't just, like, grill it like it's a part of the rest of the fish. So we're going to need 4 of these guys for our dogs. I haven't cured belly, I don't think. I've certainly done it in gazpacho. But gazpacho's coming up here in the next couple of days. I forget if that's tomorrow or Sunday. Oh, Friday is cookies, and then Sundays is going to be winter gazpacho. At least I think that's what it's going to be. I've been sort of kicking around the idea of doing like a squash, citrus, hot pepper soup, sort of like a gazpacho, like you would make a tomato gazpacho, but using the squash instead of the tomatoes. So we're not quite ready for our dogs yet. We're probably going to want to let those sit and cool for a minute before we throw the cheese in them. So let's make a couple spring rolls. If these will open for me. Easy to open. The rest were easy to open. These ones don't have any gap for you to hold them. There we go. Half the labor tonight is opening packaging. You're giving me ideas there. I'm certainly not going to do it as well as a sushi chef. I'm certainly not going to have the availability of fish either. Cut the heat on those and just let those... Well, let's put them on something and let them cool down a bit. Go back to making our spring rolls. And again, too much stuff to make all in one night here. I'm not going to make my own spring roll wrappers tonight either. Oh, these are thin eraser ones. Okay. These are ones that you soak, aren't they? Yeah. So we got some water. Want to be ready with the ingredients in case this is a short-lived. I've done this before, but it's been a while. But we're moistening up the wrapper here so it gets soft and flexible. It's actually taken longer than I used to remember. We'll see how that works. Sort of wish I had some like mint right now or something green to throw in there. That wouldn't be too offensive to the overall flavor plan. There we go. Put that guy right there. Move on to the next one. Very interesting stuff here to sort of work with as far as the texture. It's been a while since I've worked with these, but they're like, as they absorb the water, they almost turn to starch gel. Which, when it comes to traditional spring rolls, these are actually the ones I prefer. They're usually the ones that are done for like the fresh spring rolls, the shrimp and tons of basil and other herbs and stuff in there. Those are good. I make those probably once a year. I didn't make them this year though. Been sort of thinking about what I've done this year after making that slideshow. Still have not found the clove. So it's probably in one of these. Do one more of those guys. What time is it? Okay, I'm gonna finish up this last wrapper before we do our battle. Our last dessert burrito here. There's our clove. Woohoo! Not gonna bite into a clove unexpectedly tonight. Okay, those are getting a sugar and egg wash before they go in the oven. I pointed those so you guys could see, and you guys can't see me pointing. Those are going to get an egg wash with some sugar before they go in the oven. Let's do our battle. Battle! Wow, all sorts of people in here now. Welcome in, everyone. Nice. Got this no problem. Grat Sniff, Trigger Happy, and Entropy. Ooh, goodies. Oh wow, all over the place. Start in the top corner again. Okay, hot dog time. This is actually 2 pieces of prosciutto here that are stacked. You got one that's finishing right there. I never really pay that much attention. It does matter for your meltability, but I didn't even look what these are. And I have thrown away the wrapping now. Actually going to put that right back in the pan here. We'll throw the pan in the oven. And we got to get the other. Oh no! Is that New York Slice? Sorry, I've got it set so I can't see the name. Oh, welcome in, New York Slice. No, tonight's my ingredient challenge. And so string cheese is my ingredient challenge for tonight. So we have hot dogs that I'm stuffing with string cheese. We have prosciutto wrapped string cheese that I'm going to throw in a salad. We have string cheese and caramelized apple spring rolls that I am going to later on give a egg wash and sugar sprinkle to. And lastly, we have pizza rolls that are chilling in the freezer. Using string cheese as our mozzarella for our we're gonna do we did a mozzarella core to our puff pastry. Pizza rolls. I just did that so that I could spread it out just a little bit wider than they were layered already. Yeah, decent hot dogs. Forget the... I already threw them back in the fridge, but they're the bold-faced organic ones. Which, a fresh, properly ground hot dog is one of those things like fresh beer, or it's just a superior product. You just never see it because it's too much work for your local butcher. They make this artisan hot dog and you're like, you want to treat it like a typical hot dog. Or a general public, not you guys, sorry. Yeah, I was saying earlier, Slice, I didn't buy... This is not imported, but imported is certainly better, and it's certainly better quality than this. I was saying earlier that this has still got too much moisture. It certainly doesn't look heavily cured to me. This looks more like sliced ham to me. And when you have the real stuff, the flavor is just... the nuttiness that you get out of it is so much better. I haven't. Well, I've had things called Iberica. I don't, or rather, doubt their validity. But that's something that I wouldn't mind trying. Is good, proper Spanish Iberico pig. Iberico ham. Yeah, we're just going to leave that one as is. Too much of a pain to try and separate. Allowed to use bruschetta. Not sure what you're meaning by that. Alright, we got our 400 degree oven. I think that'll give us enough time to cut our salad. Let's put everything in the oven. So we're probably just, how much longer we got until our next Stream Raiders here? Another 21 minutes? Awesome. So we'll be wrapping up everything together pretty closely here. And throw these guys somewhere where I'll bag them up properly later. Do our egg wash. Did I just stop it again? And then anyone joining in here, we have our string cheese pepperoni puff pastry rolls here. Also, for anyone joining in here, we have Discord going here with the vote for next week. Next week, it's either going to be pizza rolls, and I'm going to have to use this for both dinner and dessert, by the way. So, for pizza rolls for dinner and dessert, or Fruit Loops cereal for dinner and dessert. Both of those I can see going good for one of them. The other one I don't quite know yet. So that should be interesting next week. That'll be next Wednesday. And as always, welcome further suggestions. And the ones with the most votes / newest will go to the next week's battle. Let's quick whip up an egg here. I buried it with containers. Yeah, Fruit Loops I was more wondering about in the savory side of things. Quite a few things we could do on the sweet end. And you could do a savory Fruit Loop salad too, but that was about all I was sort of thinking. Sort of leaves me getting creative here for the rest of the protein part to that. Yeah, I don't want that there. That was a bad place. So we'll take our egg, brush that pretty heavily over these guys. Alright. Sort of tempted to egg wash these puff pastries too, but we might actually do that. But we need sugar first. I don't know how well that comes up in camera, but I coated those pretty well. Give you a closer up on that before we throw everything in there. Got those looking nicely coated with egg and sugar. And I'm actually going to consolidate my hot dogs with the puff pastry, because I might slightly overdo the hot dogs, but I think they can survive the 15 or so minutes here we need with our puff pastry. 15 to 20. Yeah, this isn't nearly dry enough to be prosciutto. It's got a bit of that basic cured ham smell to it, but it's not the real stuff. So, going in the oven here with all this goodness here. Let's do the egg wash on the puff pastry too. We got the egg here already. That's going to dissolve into a pool of cheese, I think, as will this. Alright, in the oven for these. And for the spring rolls. I'm glad it didn't fall in the oven. Where did it fall, though? Oh, jeez. Went and lost my earbud here. Give me a moment. Where the heck did it go? Well, I hope we don't get some weird plastic smells here soon. That would royally ruin dinner. Yeah, I'm aware of, I'm sorry, I'm a little distracted there, Glass. Problem is, they're freaking black, too. There it is. And it's not in the oven. Yay. I am thinking I'm going to give that a wipe down with a bit of alcohol now, though. There we go. Why you no play music? There we go. So, salad time. And we need a timer here for about 5 more minutes. Or 10 more minutes. Till we give it a look. Yeah, not much concern for the kosher, halal, what have you, cuisine. I've cooked much of it before. I worked my extern right out of college, or part of college, was working at a large resort where they had separate kosher kitchens. Hey, Becca! Welcome, man. I see you found the new BTT V emotes. I went and changed those up since they refreshed some of those. Well, in both cases, it's how you're treating the animals and what you're mixing them with. And like the major thing with the whole kitchens that we used at the resort was there was literally lines painted on the floor that went up the walls, where you do not take dairy past that line. Get out of here, bug. Of course, it also meant everything you brought in, they had a rabbi on call, and any equipment that you brought in, if you wanted to use your own knives, which I did, or anything along that line, has to be boiled, has to be blessed. How do I want to mix this up? Let's use mini tongs. And what we want to do for dressing, I'm thinking honey mustard again. It's what I really sort of have around the house right now. It's not much. But things are going a little nuts in Sonoma County with the pandemic right now. So I've been, this last week, a little bit extra careful about going out even less and doing, even though I haven't been happy with it, I've been doing more online orders. Nice to be respectful. Oh, yeah, and those are the ones that are interacting with you and even think to bother to the really strict ones of just about any religion, you don't even really interact with at all. off in their own little worlds. Much like the mini corners of the internet. Which I am happy you guys have found mine. Once again, just a hint of vinegar in there. I'm going to do a little bit more this time, though. Salt. Fresh cracked pepper. Oh, between they follow their own rules so strictly, and you know, they're not gonna go out to restaurants or trust restaurants, or they're gonna do food at home or from people they trust, that sort of thing. They're just not gonna, regardless of what. Battle. It's been 20 minutes. Let's take a look at our stuff in the oven here real quick first. Ooh, wow. 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 Cheesiness. Definitely gonna pull these out, which they may have exploded on me there. The other ones need a couple more minutes. We're gonna give those another minute or two. Welcome in, Raiders. Glad to have you. How you doing this evening? What were we streaming tonight? Beer Not Babies sounds like an interesting name here. Not quite. Apologize, I'm not quite familiar with you. Working on dinner tonight. We have string cheese as my challenge ingredient here tonight, and so I'm making dinner and dessert. Well, sort of dessert. With string cheese tonight. So we have salad that I was working on finishing up here with some dressing and pancetta or prosciutto wrapped string cheese. There's my timer for that. That needs another couple more minutes though. We have dessert, which seems to have exploded on me, that are spring rolls of string cheese with caramelized apples. And there's some cheese on the outside and there's some sugar on the outside that we'll let those cool down here. Inside we got hot dogs and we got pizza rolls. We do have Stream Raiders Battle here coming up. So let's do that real quick. If anyone new into the channel, welcome. I'm Jason. I cook here on stream 3 nights a week. Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. Slice. I think we got this one. Nice. Victory. Congrats, Nith. Start our next one. Might finish this one off stream here. There we go. Okay. Gonna quick mix this together. We got homemade honey mustard, honey, little salt, light hit of apple cider vinegar, and I just threw it all in there. I probably should have put about half and mixed it, but I think we're going to be okay here. It doesn't look too hugely overly coated. And this will work for this. Smelling those pizza rolls now. Thank you for that follow, Beer Nut Babies. Pork sounds good. I don't know about my dessert here, as far as a sushi like roll. Nice. The Grey Poupon gives you that nice, almost horseradishy mustard heat. And go along with that sweet honey. Nice contrast. Throw these guys on top. Salad. Take a quick photo of that for the Instagrams and all that. Instagram and Discord. Let's see what we got here in the stove, in the oven. Oh yeah. More cheesy goodness. I want to pull those hot dogs. I want to give that bread a bit longer. Jeez. So I'll take these guys and throw these back in. They obviously need another couple minutes. Let's plate up our sort of currently ugly looking dessert here. But they did seem to, other than leaking, somewhat hold together here, so we might be lucky. Might be lucky. Wipe off all that popcorn or hot dog loveliness. So we'll just wrap the cheese underneath. Oh yeah. Now let's see, I hope I can get 2 like that. They're working pretty well now that they've cooled down a minute. As you can see, not too shabby looking. Not as great finger food as your typical spring roll, but I think those are going to be tasty. I'll break into one of those here in a minute. Well, thank you. Yeah, as I was saying there, I don't know if I got caught with an ad or whatever these days, but I do ingredient challenges on Wednesdays, other than when there's a holiday. So tonight is string cheese, and we set up the Discord vote here. You can feel free to jump in the Discord. The link's there in chat. And add your own suggestions into the ingredient suggestions. And on Wednesday dinner voting, we have here next week's pizza rolls or Fruit Loops. Let me go a quick check here and see if we don't have anyone waiting for access in here. My members. Bot has not been working great on giving permissions. Alright. And do I have a timer set for that? No. Let's make our hot dogs. We got our hot dogs here, nice, hot, and warm. I will break into one of those before we wrap up stream, though. That one's broke. This guy lost most of his cheese. So we're going to hide that in the side there. But as ingredient challenge goes, I've done a fair number of other ones already here. We're in, what, week 9, week 10? We've done popcorn, Pop-Tarts, Pocky, oh, what else? We've done eggnog. There's been a whole bunch of them already. That's just being ugly on me. There we go. Hot dogs. Guy's just being a problem. No worries, Beer. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you giving me a raid, and thank you for bringing your community over. Let's see how our pizza rolls here are looking, our last item here of the night. You can definitely smell that cheese crisping. I think we got a couple here that we can steal out of this. cheese melted more than I expected here tonight. All the recipes tonight are entirely sort of off the cuff. Just figuring, yeah, this should work. Still nice and soft and buttery puff pastry. But yeah, we got some definite cheese loss here. Oh, you can't quite see. I'm sorry, guys. So, cheesy mess, but also cheesy deliciousness. So, and you can always hide that ugliness and still enjoy it. If it wants to come off of the pan, there we go. You don't have to apologize for lurking either, by the way. I'm perfectly happy with anyone just hanging out here. I know I'm not the most high-impact, talkative streamer. Cheesiness. That's all gonna be delicious. Get that a photo before I destroy all of those. Not the most photogenic dinner tonight. It will be quite delicious, though. So those I'm going to enjoy. Let's break open one of these dessert spring rolls here. Give you guys an idea of what we got here. I had that in the wrong window, but nice little bit of pull there. Sweet mozzarella. Mozzarella is rather neutral. Goes great with the sweeter flavors too. Maybe you could have thrown a little bourbon or some apple brandy with that, but that's pretty good. Maybe some cream cheese or something in there too to be the in-between. Not like a lot of it, just like a thin layer of it. That or sour cream, or... because the cheese is great and it's cheesy. But it's that dry mozzarella cheesy. Welcome, Pepitas. Pepitas. Sorry, I'm mispronouncing that. And thank you for that follow. We got our pepperoni cheese stick puff pastry. That's one of the ones without the cheese in it. Yeah. Those are going to be delicious. We got our honey mustard salad. And our hot dogs, which I'm going to bury in a little bit of ketchup and relish. But I think I'm going to call it a night here. See if we can find someone here to share the love with tonight. see who is on. I haven't even refreshed things. Normally I pay a little bit more attention. Why don't we go hang out with Mr. Horologist? He nicely rated us last Wednesday. And I enjoy his stream, as I mentioned then. He has a very relaxed, chill stream. Come on, let's go Twitch. Am I not searching for it right? Oh, there's a gap. How close are we on our next Stream Raiders battle there? Awesome. But those of you joining, Mr. Horologist actually just yesterday raffled off a several $100 watch and does so at least annually. So you should at least follow his channel and give him a hello. I want to thank you guys for joining me tonight. Let's see, did that take? Yeah, it looks like that took. Okay. See you guys back here on Friday. Gonna be doing cookies, and more cookies here on Friday. And then Sunday, like I was saying, gonna try and do a sort of like winter gazpacho. Should be an interesting mix-up. And you guys are in control of next Wednesday. So I hope to see you guys back. And I hope you all have a great night. See you soon.